Hi, it's Michelle Einstein, Songbird Song. I started this exercise with doing talking shop therapy, saying what I was feeling. I'm sad. I believe he stole $10 from me. I'm planning to call the laundry to pick up and do my laundry. I'm sad because I'm losing another errand boy. These guys are not driving Miss Daisy, which means that Miss Daisy found out that her driver was an honest man. Diogenes went around his environment looking for the one honest man. Turns out it was him. That was me in a past life. What you look for in another, find in yourself. You can't expect to find someone better than yourself to look up to, like as a small child, you physically looked up to your parents. When you are looking for someone to look up to you are looking for a parent. Parent, present, aren't, A-R-E-N-T, aren't going to find another parent. You aren't going to find one more grown-up than you. You are going to find one more grown-up than you. Unless you look to saints. Mother Teresa, she's dead, reborn to the true Queen of England, and King William, a former U.S. Marine in a past life. Marines were honorable because they risked their lives to save others, including to save other Marines. Watch a video. I think I just wrote my best song ever, Golden Hour. It is out now everywhere, shorts. I think I just wrote my best song ever, hashtag shorts, at the JVKE website. David Garrett says he's been most inspired by Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach. And then I say, Bach was reborn as Edwin Birdsong, whose first debut album was a masterpiece called Wedded. The best two songs on the album were written by his wife, Michelle Birdsong, who in past lives were Beethoven, Oscar Hammerstein, Ira Gershwin, and Hal David, lyricists. The best two songs on the album, Wedded by Edwin Birdsong, were called The Uncle Tom Game and Mr. Moneyman. They were influenced by her growing up in the segregated southern town of Clarksville, Tennessee in the 40s and 50s and early 60s. David Garrett, watch a video, David Garrett, live in concert and in private at Berlin Tempodrome 2009, and bonus content. Song, Air by Johann Sebastian Bach. It's hypnotizing. I listen to it. It's just so beautiful watching him loving what he's doing. The audience of which I was is having a vicarious experience. Audience. First, you die. enter consciousness of event. So I die to myself and I enter his consciousness, his being, his having fun, his experiencing pleasure. It's called vicarious, which means experience in the imagination through the feelings or actions of another person. I could glean vicarious pleasure from the struggles of my imaginary film friends. Similar word to vicarious is indirect and secondhand, acting or done for another, a vicarious atonement. At one me, enter double cross. Okay, so Christ died for Mary Magdalene is me, yeah. And we entered a double cross. Do you be loved? Cross. I think I'll do that on the next page. Yeah, let's do it over here. Do you be loved? Cross. Conscious mother. Order. See sun. If you see the sun, your eyes are going to be burned and you'll go blind. So you can only see the sun when you see yourself, because you are the daughter of the sun. Okay, so then U for uterus, EN for penis, in the den, pen is what mother does when baby is in her womb, which is what the den is, which decoded means worlds of my baby, or worlds of Infant Michelle, B for bird song. So when mother does what mother does when baby is in her womb is like a pen writing the baby's character. Pen is. Okay. He or she will do the same rituals when he or she is born, most likely, with a little of the baby's grown-up quirks within the behavior of the parents, which the baby picks up from his or her environment, her neighbors, her church members, community, town, state, country, world, planet. Planet. E for extra, T for terrestrial. Plan of the extraterrestrial. Eve, X for unknown, E for Eve. Unknown Eve, TR for trail, RR for rail, road, rail, roach, suitcase, encroached, crotch, crabs, and crotch. Rail roach was an older man who told me, I asked him for money to buy suitcases because I was leaving Clarksville. And he said, if you sleep with me. He said, okay, but sleep with me. And so I said, okay. Not realizing what I was feeling, which was horror. So what happened was encroachments tried to enter her crotch, but he saw her face. It was all scrunched up like somebody was trying to force her to drink a cup of saliva or a cup of vinegar. And he, railroad, saw what she felt about having sex with him. She was 16, sweet 16, and she wasn't hard enough to bear his encroachment stoically, just show the ick she felt, sick she felt, as this big lip, pot-bellied, black as dirt, black as soot. What could Rail do but give a quick laugh and get up from the floor, put his offending tool, his penis for pleasure, away, back into his pants, no longer panting like a dog for Frog's little girl. Frog was my mother's nickname, who had nicknamed him. The little girl had nicknamed him Cookie for her sweet self, then another Cookie. She was not the prettiest nor the smartest person in Clarksville. Her mother held that distinction, but she was what she called Rail. Cookie. She was the sweetest person in Clarksville. She tried to make a grizzly think he was a purring little kitten, like her, a baby tiger. Creativity. And then encroach. Similar words to encroach is trespass, impinge, intrude. He tried to put his dick in me where it was not wanted. When her mother had left her alone in her grandmother's two-room house, she looked at the door and imagined intruders pushing in the door and getting her, perhaps eating her, like the wolf wanted to do Little Red Riding Hood. When she wears red here at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3 in Chelsea, Manhattan, somebody says, or she feels like she's Little Red Riding Hood. Encroach means to advance gradually beyond usual or acceptable limits. Rail acted like he was her father. But then he wanted to be her lover, and she didn't know what to do because as her father, she was used to obeying him. So the sea has encroached all around the coast. That's an example sentence using the word encroach. The coast is clear. No sea. Nobody to seaward Rail, a 50-year-old former boyfriend of her mother's, was doing to me. Out of the blue, Birdsong Bach said, Birdsong Bach was her husband. Later, we fast-forwarded to the late 1960s, said, vocabulary. Know all the definitions of each word. That's what she started doing in her spare time, reading the dictionary. As a receptionist at the Chicago Area Council of the Boy Scouts of America, as she read a copy of Time magazine with a dictionary, one of the scouts or scout leaders said to me, "You don't need a dictionary to read Time magazine." He doesn't need a dictionary to read Time magazine. He's been well educated. He's read so many books he knows the words of the education part of the culture. Paradigm shift, noun. It means a fundamental change in approach or underlying assumptions. Geophysical evidence supporting Wegener's theory led to a rapid paradigm shift in the earth sciences. So, a fundamental change in approach or underlying assumptions. Underlying. Lying under him. My face was telling the truth. It was not lying. It was expressing distaste for his touch, for his presence on me. Yuck, yuck. The origin of the word parrot. You understand what's going on. There are two stories in this one story. Dave Roberts told me he just read a book by Charles Lamb in which he talks about the fact that there are truths within truths. There are stories within stories. Okay, so the origin of the word paradigm came about in 1970s term used in the writings of Thomas S. Kuhn. Born in 1922, died in 1996, philosopher of science. Paradigm. Present. First. Mother. Her daughter. Pleasuring. No, wait a minute. Present first the mother for my pleasuring. Then put first her daughter pleasuring me, a guy, a male. So paradigm is model. Her daughter was as pretty as a model and as sweet as cookies. Paradigm, a typical example or pattern of something, a model. There is a new paradigm for public art in this country. Similar word to paradigm is model or pattern. In other words, syntax. The arrangement. No, let's go up here first. C-U in tax. Syntax. C. Sin. Tax. Pleasuring in the axe. When the woodsman used his axe to save Riding Hood from the wolf. Syntax. The arrangement of words and phrases to create well-formed sentences in a language. A language is a mode of expression of thought. Mode. Commode meant toilet when I was growing up in my home house in Tennessee. So language is a mode of expression of thought by means of articulate sounds. Articulate. First, heart, tick. Tick means touch, pleasuring. Oh, what is that word? Pleasuring. I have to sit up to try and figure this out. Pleasuring. Oh, consciousness. Consciousness of you. Okay, so then articulate. The heart ticks. You late. Words come after feelings. Words. S-W-O-R-D. Sword. Answer. Ordered. Linguistics is a branch of study that deals with languages. Tree of life. Music is universal language. Entree. Eve. Offering. Feel. Life. Love. Life spells. Loving. Pleasuring. Ring. Wedding. Feeling. Wife. Okay, so here we go. Life. Loving, pleasuring. Diamond wedding ring. And feeling wife, actually. Enact, you, ally. That's a friend. Enter, you, ally. Not intruding or encroaching like Rail Roach, you get it? This is her husband. actually. Enter ULI, actually. Gurinder Singh was and is right. Sex is the basis for life. Basis. Be as is. Okay? Okay, so I think that's good enough. I think that explains to you what I was trying to tell you, that sex is the basis for life. Okay? So, if you didn't follow it, go back and listen to it again, because I took pains to give you the detailed explanations. Okay? This is Michelle Einstein, Songbird Song, signing off.